His Excellency Mr. Andri Hadi, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Belgium, Luxembourg, and European Union. His Excellency Mr. Mayer Vas, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the Netherlands. His Excellency Mr. Jean Cornedelsius, Director for Southeast Asia and Oceania, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Development Cooperation of the Kingdom of Belgium. His Excellency Mr. Lambert Grijns, Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to Indonesia. His Excellency Mr. Stefan de Locker, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium to Indonesia. Honorable Mr. Koen Metsu, Mayor of Edegem and Member of Parliament of Belgium. Mrs. Sinta Kamdani from Indonesia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Mr. Johan Lubebakker, Mr. Laurent de Graaf, Mr. Irwan Habsha, and Mr. Hatanto Reksodiputro, founders of BIA. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Selamat siang. Welcome to the launching of Benelux-Indonesia Association. We hope you enjoyed the Indonesian traditional dance that was performed previously by our talented dancers. The traditional dance is called Tari Merak, or peacock dance. The beautiful dance is originally from West Java, with its graceful moves that has deep religious meanings and noble character to show the gratitude of nature's beauty, including the splendor, colorful feathers of peacock birds. We will begin the session this afternoon by welcoming remarks from His Excellency Mr. Andri Hadi, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Belgium, Luxembourg, and European Union, to begin the launching of BIA. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Terima kasih. Okay. Thank you very much for coming, Honorable Koen-Metsu, Mayor of Edegem and Member of Parliament, His Excellency Jean Cornedelsius, Director for Southeast Asia. Thank you very much. Bapak Duta Besar Stefan de Locker, my good friend, Ambassador of Kingdom of Belgium in Jakarta. So we have a virtual session with Jakarta. Ambassador Lambert Grijns, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Netherlands to the Republic of Indonesia, my close good friend. We are in the same room during my time in Jakarta. Ambassador Mayer Vas, co-host of this program based in Den Haag. My good friend Ibu Sinta Kamdani from Indonesian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and other colleagues from KADIN, Bapak Irwan Habsha, Pak Hartanto, co-founder of BIA, Excellencies, distinguished guests in Brussels and Jakarta, very good afternoon to you all. It is a privilege and honor for me, Ambassador Mayer Vas, and also Pak Johan, to welcome you at today's event of the launching of the Benelux-Indonesia Association. I'm delighted to see many guests physically and virtually are present today. Aside from EU context, Benelux countries and Indonesia have a very special relation indeed. Benelux countries are among Indonesia's most important partners in trade and investment. Hundreds of Benelux companies are operating in Indonesia. For example, CPF like 100 years ago or something. And vice versa, our export to Benelux countries is also among the biggest compared with other EU countries. That's why we welcome the initiative of Pak Johan Lubebakker and all members of BIA established Benelux-Indonesia Association. I fervently hope BIA can enhance economic relation between Indonesia and Benelux by connecting, bridging, and facilitating business from Indonesia to Benelux and the other way around from Benelux to Indonesia. And the Embassy of Republic of Indonesia in Brussels and in Den Haag stand ready to facilitate and support BIA endeavor. Last but not least, Mr. Johan Lobubaker, as a chairman of BIA, is the right person. He has a vast experience of almost 20 years living in Indonesia, working for international companies. He also ran his own business in Indonesia and Antwerp. Mr. Johan Lobubaker is unquestionably a complete package of Benelux-Indonesia Association. He is Dutch, living in Antwerp, with a beautiful and intelligent Indonesian wife. So this is really complete. In closing, I hope you will enjoy the launching of BIA event today, and I hope you enjoy our Indonesian cuisine as also Indonesian best coffee, my Bali. Without further ado, I would like to invite Ambassador Maher Faz to deliver his remark. I thank you.
To come here, Pak Andri Hadi asked me to give a speech at least 3 minutes. So I need your 3 minutes time. Mayor, Honorable Mayor in this area, ya, Excellency Bapak Duta Besar Andri Hadi, Bapak Duta Besar Lambert, selamat sore Pak di Jakarta, Bapak Duta Besar Stefan, selamat sore di Jakarta, Ibu Sinta, Kamdani, Mr. Johan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu sekalian. First of all, I would like to say that I am very pleased to be here in Brussels today for launching of Benelux-Indonesia Association or BIA. I noted that it took years for this association to be formed. So we have to wait until Pak Andri Hadi comes that this organization be formed. And therefore, I would like to congratulate you, Pak Andri, and Pak Johan, that we finally here gathered to celebrate the launching. I'm confident that this will be a beginning of a fruitful partnership and cooperation. As Ambassador of Indonesia to the Netherlands, allow me to first talk about Indonesia and the Netherlands. Maybe Pak Lambert also can say something later. Business plays a crucial role in the bilateral relation between Indonesia and the Netherlands. Both countries have committed to a comprehensive partnership in 2013, in which the leader of puts emphasis, among others, on the importance of greater economic cooperation. This includes also closer network and cooperation between private sector. On how to strengthen the cooperation in economic matters, especially the concrete cooperation between Indonesia and the Netherlands, is the priority that given to me by my president. The bilateral cooperation led to the Netherlands to rank as Indonesia's 12th top global trading partner in 2020 with $4.5 billion in trade value. Despite ongoing pandemic in 2020, the Netherlands was the 6th biggest FDI source with a $1.4 billion value of investment. Meanwhile, Belgium also remained one of Indonesia's important European partners in economic cooperation as a 23rd trading partner, with total non-oil and gas trade in 2020 reaching $1.7 billion. And on investment sector, we recognize the total value of Belgium investment in Indonesia worth more than 227 million. Despite the pandemic, trade relation between Indonesia and Luxembourg has been positively growing, reaching around 44 million in 2022, or 1.2% increase of the value in 2019. Luxembourg is also known as one of Indonesia's largest foreign investors from Europe, with total investment value of $2,200 million in 2020, an increase of more 65% from 2019. Nevertheless, the trade relation between Indonesia and Benelux is still relatively low as compared to other trade partners in Asia. While I believe the potential is high for trade relations as well as investment, we expect that BIA would be able to play an active role in promoting the economic relation of Indonesia and Benelux countries and supporting the effort of Indonesia Embassy here in Brussels and in The Hague. We hope BIA can function first to inform and familiarize business and relevant stakeholders in Benelux to do business and more business with Indonesia. Second, to provide important and valuable information about how to conduct business in Indonesia, so as a facilitation for business sector to do business between two regions, and also about various business opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, the pandemic brought challenges to economic growth all over the world, including Indonesia, but we are stay determined and the recovery is progressing well. We have plenty of strength and that enable us to offer economic opportunities to Benelux. First, Indonesia's improvement in ease of doing business and investment climate. This is due to the creation of the Omnibus Law of Job Creation, which aim to minimize the burden of bureaucracy and open more employment opportunities. Second, a strong people-to-people and strong government relations between Indonesia and Benelux and Europe Union as a whole. And in addition, Indonesia is the largest democratic country. We uphold the rule of law and pay a high respect to international law. Indonesia's gross economic profile underline it's important to be the hub in the region and wider region and to be part of global supply chains. Indonesia is very committed to address the environmental issues, including climate change, and inviting the world to take concrete action to lead by example. For example, Indonesia is among the first that has flagged VPA mechanism with the European Union, showing our commitment that business are done with sustainability in mind. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, congratulations to BIA on this joyous occasion. I'm looking forward to working together with you, and you are more than welcome to visit us again back in The Hague anytime soon. At last, let me express my warmest appreciation to all the guests today in traveling their valuable time to join us here in the residence of Ambassador of Brussels. Next time, I will invite you all to The Hague, to my residence, that I'm confident food is more authentic there, Indonesian food, than here. I can guarantee that, right? So maybe sometime in November, in October, you all have a time to visit me in The Hague in my embassy and my resident with the better food. I think good food, Indonesian food. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Excellencies. Now we're coming to the next session, which is the remarks by His Excellency, Mr. Jean Cornedelsius, as Director for Southeast Asia and Oceania, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Development Cooperation of the Kingdom of Belgium. Without further ado, we invite Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Your Excellencies, Ambassador Hadi and Mayor Fass, our dear colleagues who are with us virtually from Jakarta, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express my warm regards to Your Excellencies for the most kind invitation to this event. It is my great pleasure to be here with you today on this wonderful occasion as we mark the launching of the Benelux-Indonesia Association. It brings me great pleasure today to see this initiative coming to fruition as we are starting to look at the opportunities to jointly work in establishing a post-COVID recovery. This crisis, whilst not over yet, has exposed several vulnerabilities in the global economy and reminds us of the need to diversify and solidify our trade relations and supply chains. I firmly believe Indonesia and the Benelux can be privileged partners in that sense and establish a firm and sustainable partnership for the future. Since the turn of the century, trade between Belgium and Indonesia has seen a truly remarkable growth. As our world became even more globalized, the world economy has become more integrated, and the economic growth and dynamism of Southeast Asia has been increasingly reflected in our trade figures. Trade between Belgium and Southeast Asia has grown by a staggering 70% in the last decade alone. In 2020, trade between Belgium and Indonesia totaled almost 2 billion euro. You are well aware that the European Union and Indonesia are currently negotiating a free trade agreement. I suppose it occupies a lot of your time, Ambassador. Yes. This comprehensive economic partnership agreement, once concluded, will undoubtedly provide a further impetus to our growing trade ties, and Belgium therefore fully supports these ongoing negotiations. We also believe this CEPA might, in the longer run, provide a stepping stone towards an ambitious region-to-region FTA between the EU and ASEAN, which would be the first in its kind. While we are content with this development and with the increasing growth in our trade relations, we are also aware of the vast amount of untapped potential and the many opportunities that are still waiting to be seized. As Southeast Asia's largest economy, Indonesia is truly a land brimming with opportunity. It is exactly here where the Benelux-Indonesia Association can play its part in setting up business and networking connections and in creating synergies between companies in our two markets. Dear friends, I would like to wish the Benelux-Indonesia Association all the best in their future endeavors, as their success will be our success. Indonesia and Benelux countries only have to gain from the valuable work that this association will undoubtedly furnish. I thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your remarks. We are now coming to a session where we will listen to remarks delivered virtually by His Excellency Mr. Lambert Grijns, Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to Indonesia, and also Mrs. Sinta Kamdani from Indonesia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Your Excellency and Mrs. Kamdani, the floor is yours.
Good morning, Your Excellencies and distinguished guests in Brussels. I hope you can hear me well. Selamat sore untuk yang di Jakarta. Pak Dubes, Pak Andre Hadi, Pak Dubes Mayarvas, Mr. Jean-Cornet Delgius, Pak Dubes Stefan de Lukker in Jakarta, Ibu Sinta Kamdani, and of course, last but not least, Mr. Johan Lebbebakker and the other members of the board and advisory board members. Distinguished guests, Bapak dan Ibu yang saya hormati, I hope you're all well and healthy. And thank you very much for inviting me to say a few words on this very special occasion from Jakarta. Now, first of all, let me congratulate you all on the launch of the Benelux-Indonesia Association. And I think you could not have picked a better time to start a new initiative to further strengthen commercial collaboration between Indonesia and the Benelux, because the pandemic is causing, and it has caused, global trade disruptions, and it has forced communities to adapt to the new normal, or what we hope would be the new normal. New approaches, continuous contacts are needed to boost the recovery of our trade and investment. Yesterday evening, I actually even heard that this will be the central theme of the G20 presidency of Indonesia for next year. Now, the more connections between our countries, the better. The Netherlands is a small but very open country like Belgium and Luxembourg, and I think we are all benefiting of many and open connections. It's also very good that the private sector itself takes the initiative to boost commercial relations, since in the end, as a government, we are only facilitating. Now, I understand that facilitating is important. I agree with Pak Mayarvas that the arrival of Pak Andre Hadi in Brussels maybe make a difference, but I also would like to add that the arrival of Pak Mayarvas in The Hague did make a difference. So congratulations to my two colleagues in Brussels and The Hague for helping make possible the kickoff of this initiative. Now, we heard some figures already. Benelux, I think, as a total, is a substantial investor in Indonesia. The Netherlands, of the three, being by far the biggest European investor in Indonesia, and also the biggest non-Asian investor. And it's a position which we cherish, but it's also a position which needs continuous attention. So there's no room for complacency. And there's certainly room for growth of Indonesian investments to the Netherlands, or to the Benelux for that matter. And also our trade relationship still has much untapped potential. And that's a term which I have heard being used by previous speakers as well. Now, in that context, I expect that the BIA, the Benelux-Indonesia Association, will enrich and will further strengthen the existing economic ecosystem, which is connecting Indonesia and the Netherlands, or the Benelux for that matter, and working with KADIN as a main partner, indeed is a good start there, as a main counterpart of the Indonesian government when it comes to trade promotion. Connections with the Dutch business community in particular in Indonesia can also be made in connection with the Dutch business network, which is performing very well here. And above all, I hope that the BIA can work in a coordinated way also with our own economic team at the embassy and our Netherlands Business Support Office in Surabaya to provide guidance and information and open doors for Dutch business companies in Indonesia. Now, I also want to express my hope that the BIA can contribute to the promotion of responsible business conduct. Paying attention to sustainable value chains is at the core of our economic work these days, and European consumers increasingly demand products that are made in a sustainable way. Just last week, our embassy participated in an event hosted at the KADIN office here in Jakarta, launching a new trade association promoting sustainability in the textiles industry. And initiatives like these give a new impetus for Indonesian producers and exporters to comply with the demand of European consumers to produce in a sustainable way. The other way around, European companies which are active in Indonesia must take into account the implications of their actions for the environment. So I hope that BIA and its partners can do their part in ensuring that our bilateral economic ties are founded on sustainable business models, not only to save our planet, but also quite simply because commercially it makes sense. So thank you, Pak Mayervas, for also mentioning this dimension. So once again, congratulations, and I wish you the best of luck. And of course, whenever in Jakarta, I would like to invite you to my home, to my residence, to taste the way my cook is making food. But to be honest, I heard a certain competition between The Hague and Brussels on which ambassador could provide the best food. And now I should be a bit careful here in competing with my Belgian friend Stefan, who lives actually next door in the same street. I just happened to have lunch with him yesterday, and it was a superb Belgian lunch. So no competition from my side here, but nevertheless, you're very welcome also to come to see us and be received here at the Dutch residence in Jakarta. Thank you very much, and I wish you a lot of luck.
Your Excellency, Pak Andri Hadi, the Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the Kingdom of Belgium, Grand Duchy of Luxembourg and the European Union, Your Excellency Mayervas, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Your Excellency Lambert Bridges, the Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to Indonesia, Your Excellency Stefan de Lucker, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium to Indonesia, Mr. Johan Bakker, the member of the board of the Benelux-Indonesia Association, friends and colleagues of the Indonesian and Benelux business community, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and good morning for all of you who are in Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. Women's Bigas from Jakarta. Let me first congratulate you, Benelux and Indonesia business community, for the establishment of the Benelux-Indonesia Association. I'm very delighted to virtually join you all today in this joyous occasion. I think nothing would really make me happier as business person than to know that Indonesia business and Benelux business now have an association to run, to make friends, to explore business opportunity, to find business counterparts, and to discuss ways to tap onto the tremendous potentials for collaboration between Indonesia and Benelux businesses. The Benelux has been Indonesia business gateway to Europe, and both literally and figuratively. In a literal sense, our goods exported to European countries usually arrive first in the ports of Rotterdam or Antwerp before reaching anywhere else in the Europe. In a figurative case sense, our historical proximity allows us to turn and explore business opportunity with the Benelux companies first before we explore the rest of the Europe. I even recognize many Indonesian business who set their representative office to a European market in the Benelux countries. That is why Benelux has a special place in the hearts of Indonesian businesses. I think this is also why KADIN Indonesia and the entire Indonesian business community would like to keep our relationship with Benelux business communities even closer in the future by integrating a deeper and working together in more areas of cooperation, including venturing to other European countries together. In the spirit, Indonesia can be your gateway and partner in the Southeast Asia region, just like you are a gateway to us in Europe. As the biggest economy in the fastest growing region in the world, Indonesia has a lot of business opportunity to offer, more than our neighboring countries may be able to offer you. With the biggest business and investment policy overhaul that we did last year under the Omnibus Law, those opportunities are now within your reach and can be tapped easily as we open our economy and facilitate foreign businesses to do business in Indonesia and to tap into ASEAN and the surrounding market through Indonesia. To transform these opportunities into real transaction and cooperation, I'm happy to offer the Benelux-Indonesia Association, KADIN Indonesia support and to assist more collaboration together in the future. Let's exchange updates of business intelligence and new business opportunity. Let's facilitate business matchmaking together. Let's advocate for speedy completion of the Indonesia-EU SIPA. Let's develop products and infrastructure. Let's create a deeper and more extensive supply chain together. Let's be hubs and partners in each other region. Through the pandemic may limit us to meet in person, I really could not think of any better time for Indonesia and Benelux businesses to cooperate than now. Given how the pandemic changes and transforms our economies, our business, and our customers, Indonesia and Benelux will be found most valuable when we help each other to adopt and to answer to the challenges we have today in a mutual beneficial way. With this in mind, I'll be looking forward to activities and real business collaboration that the Benelux-Indonesia Association will do together with KADIN Indonesia in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your message, Mrs. Kamdani. Our last remarks will be delivered by Mr. Johan Lubebakar as the founder of BIA. Without further ado, we invite Mr. Johan Lubebakar to deliver your remarks. The floor is yours.
Is it? Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, it's an honor to be here. Thank you very much for coming. Excellencies, Ambassador Meijer-Vaz, Ambassador Andri Hadi, Ambassador Lambert Grijns, Ambassador Stefan de Lucker, and Ambassador Jean Cornet Delsius, Vice Chairman of KADIN, Santi Kamdani, members of the embassies, the honorary consuls of Belgium and Luxembourg, Mr. Martin Blockeel and Mr. Fafa Moyayet, member of the Federal Parliament and Major of Edegem, a good friend Kunmetsu, all dignitaries, and my fellow team members, of course, of BIA. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. And I was really touched by all the speeches from the Indonesian ambassadors, from Mr. Jean Cornet and from Lambert Grijns. That really gives me a task and the courage to continue. Many thoughts came through my mind when I was preparing for this speech. The importance of Indonesia, the importance of Benelux. Why a BIA? What would and could it mean for companies, entrepreneurs, and authorities? All questions going through my mind, how to express this and thinking how to condense it in a 3-minute speech, which was the time I was allowed. Let's see if it worked out. Indonesia, very quickly, relatively young, 276 million people population, a huge water land area, lots of natural resources and the environmental challenges that goes with getting these natural resources. It's a real leading democracy in the region of Southeast Asia. It has a special culture of unity in diversity. Benelux, a strong, developed, aging, small population on a smaller land area and a water area. Cultural becoming very diversified and the growing polarization. BIA will and can be a bridge to explain common interest for both regions that will assist both regions to add value for each other. That is the goal. Indonesian companies starting and working in the Benelux and vice versa will find an experienced helping hand in BIA at minimal cost and maximal effect and results. BIA, as a non-profit organization, will need to cover operating costs, of course. We do this by membership fees and by sponsoring. Very simple. This we do by monthly networking gatherings, gala dinners, both in the Benelux and in Indonesia. Special assignments will be and are accepted and introduction services, project assistance. All this can be arranged by in-house parties and partly outsourcing whenever necessary. I would say neutrality, trust, added values are the key words for BIA, and implementation of this is thought, and now it is a bit complicated sentence, is thought in focusing on the labyrinth of certifications, their backgrounds and processes of each country. This so that the relevances of these many complex regulations can be mapped out for companies and entrepreneurs. Effective, measurable support by BIA for business development, of which networking is only a part, be it an important one, it is not a free lunch. All details can be found on our website and on the slide shown next to me. Our team is happy to talk in person where and when convenient for you. To conclude, I would like to thank the support of KBRI The Hague, the warm welcoming, hosting and food of KBRI Brussels, especially Pa Andri Hadi, Pa Imam Sulaiman, Ibu Nina, Ibu Mary, and to Rarasati of BIA. Soon we will inform you on the next gathering, and I hope you will be able to be present again. Thank you very much.